morning, everyone. Welcome to a very special presentation. This is a virtual job fair for DWD's Region 5, which is throughout central Indiana. This is Bob Burge. I am Chief Communications Officer with the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. And it is a pleasure for you to join us here today. And thanks for your time. You're going to be hearing from some special guests we have talking about some really exciting job opportunities at their place. Before we get started, I've got a couple housekeeping items I want to go over. First is your audio. You got a couple different ways of dialing in. If you're having any audio difficulties, you can go through your laptop directly, voice over IP, or you can dial in. There's a phone line listed. You can dial in that way as well. All your lines will be muted today, but you will have the ability to send questions. On the right-hand side, you'll see the ability to send us questions. Not sure if we can get to all of them today. Those that we have time for, we will, but those that we don't, we'll be giving those to the employers to follow up on as well. So that's a couple housekeeping items. And before, you know what, I want to introduce Jim Maring. Jim is the head, he's the Workforce Development Board President for WorkOne Central. Jim, thanks again. This program doesn't happen without Jim and his regional office making it do so. And I can tell you this, I know we're coming to you virtually, but we've been doing virtual job fairs for the last 2 years. This is nothing new. I know in the COVID environment, there's a lot more done virtually, but we have been doing these virtually like this for a couple of years. And I can tell you, WD has 12 regions, and I think Region 5 has done the most of these. And so that's certainly, Jim, to you and your team's credit. Thanks again for doing it, and good morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Bob. I really appreciate that, and good morning to everyone. As Bob said, my name is Jim Maring, and I do have the distinct pleasure and honor to serve as the chair of the Region 5 Workforce Development Board. I'd like to say thank you and extend a very warm welcome to everyone who's participating today in this virtual job fair. As a point of reference, Region 5 Workforce Development does serve the 8 counties immediately surrounding Marion County. Just as a little bit of a background for businesses, WorkOne offers very cost-effective and convenient access to job seekers. For those individuals who are looking maybe for employment, you know, even thinking about developing a career plan, maybe looking for a job change or a career change, finding some training options, or even seeking employment, WorkOne is a key source for information, things like job referrals, maybe placement assistance, and many, many other services. As Bob had mentioned, since our last job fair, I'm very pleased to announce that WorkOne offices are now open. We actually have people in our offices, and the staff, I can tell you, are working diligently and very hard to serve the needs of both job seekers and businesses in our 8-county service territory. I would ask you to visit our website. It's www.workonecentral.org. For more information, that would include phone numbers, locations for the office or offices that might be close to you. I'm really excited. We've had a couple of the presenters today on before, and their energy, enthusiasm is unparalleled. So we get to hear from some Hendricks County employers and the job opportunities they have today. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about those. And with that, Bob, thank you so much. I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, thanks, Jen, and thanks again for all the work you and your team does. I know Sally's been a big help, and great work being done. And again, today we're going to hear specifically from Hendricks County employers. And as we get started, first of all, next let's introduce really the stars of today's show, the people that are really going to be riding the ship. First, from Becton Dickinson, Anastasia Bender. She's a talent acquisition partner. Anastasia, good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having us today.
Okay, and next up is from Claudia. She's the campus recruiter. Claudia, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
And next up from Harlan Bakeries, Rebecca Eisen. Rebecca is the Rebecca is the Director of Human Resources. She's been with us before. Rebecca, thanks for coming back.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, and thanks to everybody for participating. And hopefully we can help everyone that's listening on this call, and hopefully gets a recording of the call. So welcome.
Great, thanks, Rebecca. And also returning from West Foods, you may know him as Maplehurst Bakeries, Vanessa Bremer, and she's the HR manager with Maplehurst Bakeries. Vanessa, good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to talk to you today about opportunities at our facility. Welcome.
Okay, great. So before we jump right into jobs, and I know that's why you're here, we're going to do a couple quick polling questions. These will help our recruiters that are on the line. The first one you will see, they just want to know if you're currently employed. There's no right or wrong answer clearly here, yes or no. So please let us know what your answer is, and we'll share that in just a second. I can see the answers are coming in, and I think I got enough. Let's close that out. And here are the results. So you'll see that. So the vast majority of the folks today are not employed. I think that's probably a good thing for today's discussion. So again, those that are employed, that are looking to maybe skill up, could be a good opportunity for everyone. So let me bring up one more polling question. We just kind of want to get an idea of what, in your most recent employment, what area did you work in? You'll see logistics and transportation in there, manufacturing, healthcare, retail, restaurant and hospitality, or other. So I'm looking at the board right now, and I'm going to close that out, and here's the results. Over half the people selected other, which is a good option. We just help these guys get a little bit of background information about you. And again, they'll have your contact information, and we'll be following up as well. So we're going to talk in some detail here as we get started. I do want to ask all the presenters to, you can mute your lines until you're up. We're going to hear from Becton Dickinson, Anastasia Bender. Anastasia, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. So tell us a little bit about Becton Dickinson.
Can you go ahead and move to the next? There we are. So Becton Dickinson is an international publicly traded medical manufacturing biotech firm. We make everything in a doctor's office, from needles to gels. We've been around for about 125 years. We have approximately 65,000 employees worldwide, and we're a well-established business. We have a distribution center in Plainfield that we are looking to fill some positions for today, and that is manufacturing and distribution. And it's right there on Reeves Road. That's all I have.
Okay, so we're going to talk about two specific jobs. And again, just a reminder to everyone, unless you're speaking, if you can mute your lines, that would help us. And there's a little bit of noise jumping in. So, Anastasia, we're going to talk about two specific jobs. The first one's a forklift operator. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So it is second shift from 3 o'clock p.m. to 11:30 p.m. The pay rate for this is $16.88 an hour, plus a 50-cent shift differential. The minimum qualification for this is a high school diploma or an accredited GED. And the types of forklifts that we are looking for people to drive are a sit-down, a reach truck, and an order picker. And we need for folks to drive at least 2 of those and have a couple of years experience, as it's a very fast-paced distribution center that they would be working in. So basically, the material handlers are responsible for loading and unloading products within the distribution center. And that's all I've got.
Anastasia, I did have a quick question that came in. Is this, when you talk about the hours, the 3 p.m. to 11:30, is that Monday through Friday, or does that include weekends?
Yes, no, that's Monday through Friday. And they're set hours.
Okay. And next, I think we're going to take a look at a warehouse associate position or positions for second shift also.
Yes, sir. So we have second shift warehouse associate positions available as well, 3 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And so the warehouse order processor is responsible for picking and product and moving it into pallets for the forklift drivers to then move onto freight trucks. The minimum so this is more of an entry-level position. The minimum qualification for this is a high school diploma or an accredited GED, good verbal or communication skills, ability to work in a fast-paced environment, and preferably they would like people with experience that have with a voice or an activated picking system or an RF scanner. This is a metrics-driven environment, so it just means you have to meet daily production standards. And the pay rate for this job is $16.02 an hour. It's incorrect on the slide. It's $16.02 plus a 50-cent shift differential. And for our company, this is a full-time position and benefits start day one.
Very good.
And
I got a couple
again, Monday through Friday. Okay.
Okay, and Anastasia, so on this particular position, is there training available?
There is training available, although they do like for folks to have some experience in warehouse.
Okay, okay. And can you also talk just a second about when we talk about all these different products in the warehouse, are you able to give us an idea of what kind of products that you guys have?
They're medical devices of all sorts. So,
okay.
You know, not specifically, because it's more than one product. Things are shipped to moved to our distribution centers, and then they are sent out worldwide from there.
Great. Well, I think there's a lot going on there. Sounds like you're very busy. It's a very busy place. And in today's job market, that's very exciting news. So, hey, I'm interested. What do I need to do next?
If anyone's interested, if they could email me their resume at anastasia.bender@bd.com, I will reach out with a link for them to apply online directly and do a phone screen and see if they meet the requirements, and then we would move them forward from there. They would apply at
Go ahead, please go ahead, sorry.
So our main website is www.bd.com. They can go on there as well and search for the jobs, but if they email me their resume, I can send them links to directly apply to the jobs that we have available. And one other thing.
Go ahead.
Speaking to the precautions that we're taking during COVID, we are strongly enforcing wearing face masks. Plus, we practice social distancing and do temperature checks when associates enter the building at the beginning of their shift. We have hand sanitizers throughout the building, gloves for those who like to wear them, and Clorox wipes to wipe down equipment before it's used. We're staggering our shifts for first and second. First shift ends at 2:30, and second shift is now beginning at 2:45, with a second wave of second shift starting at 3 o'clock, so that we don't have a whole lot of folks coming in all at the same time. For the folks that are in cubicles, we're creating space between the work areas where possible, and we're trying to only have one person in a cubicle area. We provide cleaning supplies in the cafe as well, so associates can clean the tables before using them, and we're doing enhanced cleaning in specific areas as needed as well.
Anastasia, I do want to ask Dave to go back one slide if we can. I had a question come in. I should have asked you about benefits. I see that down below. Anything you want to highlight there?
Yes. So as I said before, our benefits start day one. There's no probationary period. You get up to 6 weeks of paid parental leave, medical, dental, vision, education assistance if needed, adoption assistance. Our 401k currently, they're not doing a match for the duration of the calendar year due to COVID, but we are not taking 401k away. We just have a pause in it because of COVID. There's basic life insurance and discounted home, auto, and pet insurance, paid holiday and vacations, prorated for the first year based on actual start date.
And I think I heard you say that these start on day one, right? Most of them.
Yes, sir, they do. They do. And that's a huge perk in this economy.
Okay, so Anastasia Bender, thank you so much. And, oh, I'm sorry, I got a couple, one more question did come in. Are there any first shift positions available?
There aren't. We are only seeking second shift at this point. We're completely staffed up on first shift. So I just want people to be aware of that, a lot of times folks get in and start on second shift, and then once you're in, if a first shift becomes available, then you would be able to bid on it at that point.
Okay, so that's the way it works. So good time to get in now. If you're interested in first shift, get in now, take a second shift position, and then that's probably the best door to go through to get to the first shift. So, okay, well, Anastasia, thanks so much for your information. Next, we're going to go to Jodas and Claudia Roman. She's the campus recruiter. Claudia, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Jodas is a third-party logistic company. That means that we have warehouse in all United States and 120 countries. And here in Plainfield, we have 8 buildings, and we also have 2 buildings in Clayton.
Claudia, I think, are you still there? I think we may have lost you on your audio. Are you still there?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Continue.
Like I said, we have 10 buildings here in Indiana or Plainfield. We have 8 buildings in Plainfield and 2 buildings in Clayton.
Okay, it sounds like a very, very big company. Again, not only nationally, but worldwide. So, and a lot of good opportunities. Good time to get in with the company right now. So let's jump into some jobs. You're going to talk about one job, and want you to give us some detail on this. It is a material handlers and forklift operators. So tell us a little bit about what you're looking for.
Yes, right now we have a lot of positions that are open for material handlers and forklift operators. We are looking for seasonal employees since we are on peak, but we also have skilled positions and permanent positions. Our main focus right now is to fill all the seasonal positions because we have more than 400 positions that are open. If you are interested in working for Jodas, you can start next week.
Wow, that's soon.
And material handlers
What else do you
are
have?
only responsible for receiving, storing, and moving materials in the warehouse. You don't need a lot of experience. You get trained in the warehouse. And for the forklift position, we need forklift operators that can actually operate reach trucks, sit down, order pickers, and stand up forklifts. For those positions, you need to have some experience, but you also get certified by the company.
Okay, it does sound like there's training available, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your
The
benefits.
hourly wages, okay. For those seasonal positions, we do not have any benefits. But after 120 days, it can potentially turn into a full-time position. With those positions that are more skilled positions and are hourly full-time positions, you do obtain benefits. Every position is
Okay.
different, but right now for seasonal material handlers, we are paying $15.50 on first shift, and we also have shift differentials. We have Monday through Friday, we have Monday through Thursday, 10-hour shift. We have Saturday and Sunday. We also have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we have a lot of different shifts, even part-time.
Okay, so I had a couple questions come in here. Claudia, can you give a little detail on seasonal? How long will that run? So you said they can start right away almost. How long can they expect to, if things go well, how long can the seasonal employment generally last? I know that's a tough question.
Right now with this year, it's going to be a little different. So it's going to be longer than what other years have been. So I think that this year it can pass up to 3 months for seasonal work, but there's a lot of work available. If they come in today or any day in the week, they can start as soon as possible. We are taking walk-ins in our recruiting center every day, Monday through Friday.
I have a couple other questions here. We touched on this before. What can you tell us about on the safety side?
On the safety side, we are enforcing the employees to wear face masks, and we also check their temperature once they get in the building. And obviously, we take the distancing between other employees as well.
Okay. I know this question came up before. If I have applied before, should I reapply?
No, if you already apply with the company, you can come see us and you can get hired right away.
Okay. And a couple other things before we, what about, can you share with us any of the clients that they may know who they are, or any products that you have that you move through your operations? Anything you want to share that might be a name that they could connect with?
Yes, we have 8 buildings in Plainfield, like I said before, and 2 in Clayton, and every building has different clients, and every client has different materials. It can be from clothing to food products, to pet stuff. So there's so many products in the warehouses. Each warehouse is different.
Okay. Couple more questions. I don't have a high school diploma or GED. Does that make me ineligible for hire?
No, you can still apply and get hired through Geodis.
Okay. Do you work on weekends?
We do work on weekends. Right now, like I said before, we have shifts on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we also have Saturday and Sunday, but we also have positions that are Monday through Friday.
Okay, sounds like there's some flexibility there. And I think you kind of answered this with the seasonal work. Is there room for growth?
Yes. So after 120 days, if it's a seasonal employee, it can potentially turn into a full-time employee. And if it's a full-time employee, they can always apply for all of the internal positions that we have in campus. there's a lot of opportunity to grow with the company.
Okay, so Anastasia, I'm interested. What do I need to do next? We're going to put the next slide up. Tell us a little bit about this. What's the quickest way to get moving?
The quickest will be to come to our campus, to our recruiting facility, 3870 South Ronald Reagan Parkway. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We take walk-ins, applicants, so you can come and apply in person and you can get hired right away.
And what are the hours they can come there to see you?
Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, so 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. Should they just say they're there to apply, or should they ask for you directly?
Yes, they can ask for me, and someone will be at the lobby if they need help.
Okay, well, that's great. So, okay, well, thanks, Claudia. That's Claudia Roman with Jonas. Thanks so much for sharing that. Sounds like there's lots of hiring going on, and the best way to go is go in person as early as today. So they're hiring right now. So, great.
Yes,
thanks for that, Claudia. Great. So next up, we're going to hear from HARLAN Bakeries. Yes, thanks. And HARLAN Bakeries is back, and with Rebecca Aitson. Rebecca, welcome back, and tell us a little bit about HARLAN Bakeries.
Sure. So HARLAN Bakeries is located in Avon, Indiana. We're a leading food manufacturer. We manufacture bagels to help feed individuals across the United States and Canadian markets. We've been at this location since 1993, and we continue to grow daily.
And located in Avon. So yes, please.
Facility, we make bagels, different kinds of bagels that I am sure all of your viewers, as well as yourself, has consumed at one time or another. And if you've had breakfast this morning and enjoyed bagels, you probably got them from us.
So your bagel network is very wide throughout the state. And does it go beyond the state borders?
Absolutely. So our products actually go to all the states and Canada. And then our organization as a whole, we've got entities in other states as well as in Canada. So we're a pretty large organization.
I don't know if you're willing to share, but when I get bagels, any places that you can share that we might be buying from?
Well, some of that's confidential, but I'm pretty sure some of the major markets you shop at, you've gotten it. So, I'd like to say we only make one kind, but we make all kinds.
Okay. What's your favorite?
Oh gosh, I like to say that bagels love me more than I love them. You know, I think I like the cinnamon raisins.
Another good answer, Rebecca. Hey, let's jump into jobs. I know you got 6 of them, so let's get going on these. The first one I think is a production associate position. Tell us a little bit about this. Looks like this 25 open positions, all shifts, right?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned earlier, we are growing. So these positions are due to growth. We have 25 within production, and luckily for individuals that are seeking a particular shift, we have positions available across all 3 shifts. And the shifts have different start times because within each shift in our industry, you have different areas, right, that produce the food themselves. So the 5 a.m. would be in our dough room on first shift, and the 6 a.m. would be by our ovens. And then the 7 a.m. would be in our packing area. And all of these shifts are 8-hour shifts. We do work Monday through Saturday. So it's a 6-day work week for now. The pros to that is people have an opportunity to make overtime, right? So it's about the money and the opportunities. And then second and third shift follow shortly after the end of each of those other times, as I mentioned. So 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and then third shift is 9 p.m., 10, and 11 p.m. we have various production associate positions, so it just depends on the area that individuals are assigned. What we look for are people that can stand on their feet for about 8 hours minimum on a shift. They have the ability to handle up to 50 pounds in some areas of lifting. It's not continuous, but they should have that ability to do that. And then also, there's a lot of racks we move, so some upper body strength would be nice. And then a cheerful attitude and a willingness to come and learn. I mean, that's really all we look for. We're not, set on people with food industry experience. It is preferred, but, this is an opportunity for individuals who are considering shift in careers, right? You want to learn something new. I would tell you, food is a great place to come. You're familiar with it, you consume it, you know it well. So why not partake in, making the best bagels there is in the nation?
So it sounds like there is some training available, right?
Yes, absolutely. In terms of our benefits, we do offer the standard benefits that most companies do, but I would like to point out that effective October 1st, so next week, we're proud to say that we are going to give all full-time employees that work with us access to a company-sponsored clinic, and that is free to the employee. So they will have the opportunity to go to these clinics and get, minor things handled. They could be seen by a doctor, given prescriptions, all that at no cost to them. And that starts next week.
Does that extend to their families as well?
So families can participate. We do charge a small premium for families. It is, at most less than $100 a month for families to participate as well. And then in terms of pay, our pay is varied. So the starting wage is $14, and it can go up to $16.50 in some positions. We do offer a 50-cent shift differential between the hours of 5 p.m. and 11 p.m., and then a $1 shift differential between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. In addition to that, for now, we are also offering a $1 flat per hour work for essential worker bonus. So that you can get for all hours that you're scheduled to work in the work week. It's based on completing your hours in the week as opposed to a day. So you don't call off. If you have a valid reason for calling off, it's excused. You must not be late, and you cannot leave your shift early. So it's, again, extra dollars in your pocket, right?
Sure, and that was the production associate. That's where there's lots of opportunities, 25 positions, all shifts. Next, let's jump to the sanitation technician. There's 4 positions open there. Looks like 2 different shifts. What can you tell us about that job and what you're looking for?
So sanitation technicians are, again, an important component of our, operations. They are individuals that keep the facility clean, keep the machines clean. Sanitation technicians would need to have the ability to work weekends because the weekends is the one time of the week that we can actually tend to our machines. Sundays especially, there's no production that runs on Sundays. So our sanitation team must be available to get in and take apart the equipment and clean it and get it back in working order by Sunday night. These are individuals that have the ability to work at heights, at certain heights. So fear of heights would not, be a fit for someone as a sanitation technician. We do have a total of 4 positions. Again, the shift times are noted. There is a shift differential that goes with those positions as well. And the starting wage currently is at $14 an hour. Same benefits as we talked about earlier.
Okay, let's move on. There's another position. There's lots of these open. The maintenance technician, 14 open positions. Tell us a little bit about maintenance technician.
So I would say every major manufacturer in Indiana is seeking maintenance technicians. These individuals, again, keep our operations going. They have to be skilled. There's in various aspects of, our equipment. We've got PLC knowledge. We've got electrical seems to be a high demand that we're looking for right now. These individuals also work on the weekends. It's not every weekend, but they got to be available to work weekends. and as well as during the weekdays. So if they're scheduled to work on a weekend, they get a couple of days off during the week. And we run 3 shifts for maintenance as well. The benefits are exactly the same as all the other positions we offer. So
can you speak just a second, with Rebecca, on the starting hourly for these positions? I think it's got the differential on there, but what's the starting hourly?
So yeah, we don't actually have a set amount. It's based on experience. So based on what a person's background is in, right? So if they're heavy on electrical, then it's going to be a certain wage. And we don't want to confine ourselves by saying this is a starting wage.
Okay, all right, that's why it's not listed. So next, let's take a look at another position, quality assurance technician. This is a specific position on the second shift you're looking for. Tell us a little bit about what a quality assurance technician needs to do.
So actually this position has just been filled as of yesterday, I'm proud to say. However, we always need good quality assurance technicians. This individual would partake in the quality of the food that we produce, make sure it meets the demands of the customer and the demands, of staying in compliance in essence. And that starting wage for that position was $16.50.
Okay, next up is a ammonia refrigeration technician. Looks like there's a couple of these. It looks like tell us a little bit about this job, and it looks like the pay kind of depends on experience as well on this one, right?
It does. So ammonia refrigeration is pretty serious business. For this particular position, we do need people that have experience in this realm. And again, the pay tends to be based on that skill set they're bringing. So ideally, it's going to be candidates that have worked either in food manufacturing and have dealt with an ammonia refrigeration system, or they've worked with it in other entities. So those would be like our ideal candidates that would do well for these positions that we have.
And I would assume if they got questions for that with your contact information, if they want to reach out first, I assume that's a nice first step, right?
Absolutely, yes. And if people aren't sure, we welcome them to submit resumes and apply, and we'll get in touch with them. It's either going to be myself or a colleague in human resources that will reach out to them.
Okay. Next up, looks like we got the frozen warehouse forklift operator. Looks like a forklift operator. Looks like there is 6 positions open, all openings in all different shifts. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking for here.
So these individuals obviously have to have the ability to operate different kinds of forklifts, so reach truck, sit down, and stand up forklifts. The biggest thing to remember is they have to have a tolerance in working in an environment that is minus 10 degrees and below. We do provide gear to get you through it, but if you are a cold person that doesn't do well in cold environments, this is not going to be a fit for you. But if you can tolerate all that, it's definitely a great fit. Again, opportunities across all shifts, and you help move our products and store our products. And the starting wage for this one is $16.50. With the shift differentials.
Okay, $16.50 plus the shift differentials. So I got a couple questions that have come in here, Rebecca. One is to do with part-time. Are there any part-time opportunities, or all these full-time you've discussed?
They're all full-time, but if someone's looking for part-time, based on the hours that we run our shifts, if they've got for example, a full-time job somewhere else, maybe the third shift would be suitable for them, right? But certainly if they are looking for part-time, they can reach out. We can take a look and see what their desired hours are.
Okay. So it sounds like you're open to ideas. So, hey, a couple other things. We asked the others, can you speak to safety just a second? Important these days.
Absolutely. So beginning April 14th, we've implemented a lot of our safety measures. Part 1 is a temperature check in your vehicle before you enter our building. So as you drive into our facility, we'll take your temperature. If you are registering a fever, you are turned away immediately, and that way you're still in your car and you haven't set foot into the building. Face masks are a must for everybody in the building, as well as safety glasses. And, you know, sometimes in food, it's pretty hard to socially distance. We enforce that as much as possible, but there are certain areas that you just can't. So the masks have been a great tool for us. And of course, sanitizing everything that we have. We've removed extra chairs in our break rooms so that there is on average 2 people to a table, 6 feet apart. And so far, you know, I'd like to say at this location, we have been pretty healthy as a group. So hopefully that'll keep up for the months to come.
Good, good. Well, thanks. Hey, Rebecca, I'm interested. What do I need to do next?
Okay, so you have several ways. You have my contact information. You can contact me directly, either by phone or send me an email, or you can go to our website at joinharlan.com and fill out an application online. It's connected through Indeed, so we'll get your profiles. Turnaround time from the time you apply to the time you speak with us is generally 24 hours. We can extend an offer within 24 hours as well and get you to work probably in 48 to 72 hours maximum.
And what if I've applied before? I want to ask you that one as well. I've applied before, 2 years ago. What should I do? Should I reapply?
If it's been longer than 6 months, I would recommend you reapply.
Okay. Hey, well, thanks. And that's Rebecca Asen from HARLAN Bakeries. Rebecca, thanks for coming back and joining us again. Looks like there's lots and lots of job opportunities there. Thanks again for your time and joining us this morning. Okay, next up, the last of these opportunities for today with Weston Foods, Maplehurst Bakeries. Please welcome Vanessa Bremer. She's the HR manager for Maplehurst Bakeries. Thanks for coming back,
Good
Vanessa.
morning.
Tell us a little bit about your guys' operation. I see some nice looking pictures there.
Yeah, lots of delicious and sweet smelling stuff that we make. So our locations here in Indiana are in Brownsburg and in Lebanon. And as you can see there at these 2 locations, in Brownsburg, we're going to make the donuts, and in Lebanon, we're going to make the cupcakes. So we are a company that is over 140 years old. And we have been actively involved in the US, Canada, and Costa Rica with our bakeries. We have a little over 40 in total. We are a leading North American bakery company, and we're owned by Weston Foods, which is a Canadian company. But the really exciting thing is our Brownsburg location is actually our US corporate center. So right here in Indiana is where our US corporate center is.
Anything on Weston Foods? I mean, what else, any other kind of lines or products that they have that people might recognize?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been privileged to work at several of Mr. Weston's bakeries across the country. And, you know, something like, I'm sure a lot of the viewers have had Girl Scout cookies. That's something we produce in our North City, South Dakota facility. If anyone is a military member or has been in the military or maybe has experienced some sort of FEMA relief through disaster, our Front Royal, Virginia facility is making some of those crackers that go into those kits. If anyone has ever had a Lunchable or a handy snack, those also come from our Front Royal location. If anyone's had a sweet potato pie, and there's famous brands of that, Patti LaBelle and so forth, a lot of restaurant pies, that's going to come from our Washington location. But, you know, cookies, crackers, wafers, ice cream wafers, cones, baked chips, baby cookies, pilot bread, bread, it's just endless. All the most delicious stuff you can eat.
Well, a neat story there, and you got me with Girl Scout cookies right out of the box. I'll tell you that, Vanessa. So, hey, you got 5 jobs you want to talk about today, right? 5 opportunities. The first one I see is open in both locations, in Brownsburg and Lebanon. Production processor on the 3rd shift, right? What can you tell us about this position?
Yeah, so this position will vary between the 2 bakeries, but essentially you're going to be part of that process of creating the food on the line. So whether you're a mixer, at the very beginning of the process and you're following recipes that our customers have indicated that they're wanting in their product, or whether you operate a robot, or maybe you're an inspector that's managing kind of the specs that the customer is looking for and making sure we're only providing the best quality of product to them. It's a very important job. We need operators, and specifically on third shift, we do have a few second shift positions open as well. So if that's kind of where your work-life balance falls, we would encourage you to apply. You do have to be able to work Monday through Saturday. Saturday is overtime, of course, time and a half. If we had to work a Sunday, it would be double time, but a lot of our folks work Monday through Saturday. There are opportunities to kind of trade off so you're not working every weekend, so you have a good work-life balance, but a lot of our folks coming in, they really enjoy that overtime. As far as the qualifications, we do need someone who's able to stand on their feet, as was mentioned before by some of the other presenters. Got to be able to lift 50 pounds, again, not continuously, but it's really important to be able to do that. It's nice for us to see someone that has some experience, whether it's they've worked in the industrial environment before, so warehouse, military, assembly, those kinds of things. But if you've never done that, it's okay. What we like to see in candidates without that experience is that you have some sort of dedicated work history. So show us that you've been committed to a provider or to an employer for a period of time, and that we should be able to reach out and have you become part of our team and invest in you. Lots of great benefits. So, you know, medical, dental, vision, prescription life insurance. We have tuition reimbursement. We have a 4% match on the 401k. And we, for several years now, have had live health for our team members. And if you're not familiar with what that is, that gives you the opportunity to see a doctor from wherever you are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's with your phone or your tablet or your computer, and it's completely free to our team. So you wake up in the middle of the night with your kiddo not feeling so well, maybe they have a fever, you can pop on your phone and have an appointment with the doctor at 3 a.m. if that works best for you.
Okay, and then let's position the wages. Yeah.
Yep, you can see the hourly wages there. We are between $15.55 and $15.70 to start, $16.43 after 90 days. And then by the time you reach a year, this is where we really want to say thanks to folks for being with us and dedicating their work to us and their time to us. So we jump you up to $19, which is fantastic. It's a good incentive to hang in there.
I know. Yeah, employee retention is very critical in positions these days. Okay, so that is the production processor position. Next, we're going to talk about a sanitation position on second shift in Brownsburg, right?
Yep. So again, this is a position that if Lebanon would be more convenient for you, we probably have an opportunity there as well. So our sanitation team, if you have never worked in food manufacturing sanitation, this is a hot new field to get into. Sanitation back in the day used to be just kind of cleaning public spaces and so forth. But this has actually become quite a science, and it looks really good on your resume for jobs that you have done. So this person has to be able to grasp kind of the SOPs, which are the standard operating procedures around cleaning. They have to be familiar with GMPs. So if you've ever worked in a restaurant and you understand kind of the protective equipment you have to wear and how important it is to keep the food safe and those kinds of things, that would be a great qualification to have. This particular job does work weekends, but they do have 2 days off during the week, and those days are consistent, so they can count on them. Again, similar to some of the other employers that are hosting today, you do have to be okay with being at high heights, and that's because you're sometimes working up on a stand to clean equipment, and you absolutely have to be okay with getting wet. I know that sounds funny, but we provide you with the PPE, the wetsuit, the wet boots, all of that, but occasionally you are going to get wet. So if you don't like to do that, you might want to look more at production.
Okay, I did have a question that came in here.
Okay.
Yeah, can you talk just a second, Vanessa, on training? So if the right person is there, can there be a training program?
Absolutely. So we have subject matter experts at our facility that are willing to take the time and help the right candidates get up to par in a particular area. We also have opportunities for continuous education and tuition reimbursement if it's something that you can go to school as you're working and become certified or attend a program in. So, yep, not a lot of folks walking off the street kind of knowing how to make donuts or cake or clean up after making donuts or cake. So absolutely, we spend a lot of time training our folks.
Okay, next position looks like it's a maintenance mechanic. I'm not even sure what that means. AW, electrical experience. Tell us a little bit about this position. And it looks like it also works in both Brownsburg and Lebanon, right?
Yeah, so we have 3 different levels of mechanic opportunities. The one we're focused on today is our maintenance mechanic A with electrical experience. So this person's going to be at the very top of our pay scale. This is going to be someone who has had industrial maintenance experience, specifically PLCs, electrical, preferably someone who's worked in food manufacturing because it's a little bit different than working in some of the other industries, but it is absolutely something we can train around as well. So you can see Rachel there. She's one of our maintenance mechanics in our Lebanon location. It's a small group of folks at each facility. It provides a little bit of opportunity around work-life balance. They can see their entire schedule for the year and be able to kind of work around it, plan around it. This is, as mentioned before by some of your other presenters, this field, we understand there's a lot of opportunities out there. So our pay scale for this is also flexible. We try to understand if someone's straight out of tech school and they're wanting to come into a entry-level role versus if they are a top A mechanic and they need to come in at a higher rate based on their skill set, their qualifications, any certifications they have, all that. So this is a very important job. I mean, obviously lockout, tagout is an essential function of the job, and it's a very exciting career.
And before we move on to the next position, I just want to do a reminder for everybody on today that because lots of information, lots of really good information, today's program is being recorded. As we had mentioned, and tomorrow about this time, you'll get a link to go back and to be able to review anything. I know we're putting a lot of stuff out there at you. So today's program is getting recorded, and you'll be getting a link tomorrow. So next up is an opportunity, looks like in Lebanon, and also in the area of sanitation. Looks like there's days and nights available for this one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so in Lebanon, our sanitation schedule is a little bit different. So you work 2 8-hour days during the week and 2 12-hour days on the weekend. So again, it provides for some work-life balance. Nothing changes. It's the same. You can kind of work your vacations around it and so forth. So a little bit different schedule. It is the same type of environment. Our Lebanon location actually has 3 lines, and so it's a little bit more streamlined in terms of the sanitation process. And the CIP system. So another great opportunity to get your foot in the door. Maybe you've had some sanitation experience as a CNA, or maybe you worked in a hospital or a hotel, and you think that cleaning is something you're passionate about, and you really understand how important it is to get folks good quality, safe food to eat. And so those folks, again, they have to be okay with climbing heights. Any experience that you have, we'd be willing to look at it and see if it's applicable.
Okay, and the next position looks like these talk about just different salaried roles that are available in both locations, both in Brownsburg and Lebanon. Kind of tell us what you're looking for here.
Absolutely. So again, we have our corporate center in Brownsburg. And we also have some corporate roles in Lebanon and across the country. One of the cool things about Brownsburg being the corporate center is that a lot of these roles can be based out of Brownsburg or somewhere else. So you guys got first dibs on them, essentially. So the first one is a HR delivery partner. You can come work with me in Brownsburg. So if you have a background in HR or generalist work or business partnering, anything like that, I would strongly encourage you to apply. We're very excited about that. We've got a transportation and logistics manager, so anybody with experience on that side with a larger company, preferably food manufacturing, packaging manager, sales analyst. We've got an engineer role open. A senior product developer, this would be on our R&D side. So if you've done R&D with another food manufacturing company and that's something you're passionate about, we would love to have you. And then for those finance folks out there, we do have a financial analyst position open. So all of those roles are posted with very specific information about the requirements or the asks around those folks that are interested. So be sure to check them out on the website.
Okay, so lots of good opportunities here across the board, Vanessa. I'm interested. What do I do next?
Yeah, so for us, the best thing for you to do is to go to that website down at the bottom. It's www.westonfoods.com. Super easy to remember. You're going to be clicking on careers because that's what you want with us. You want to work with us for a while. We're not just a job. We want to be your family, your career. Look at the bakery teams if you're interested in hourly work. That's where we post all of those jobs. And if you're interested in more of a corporate role, you can click on the commercial corporate role. So that's the best way to do it. You can also find links through Indeed to our website. We're also on Careers in Food and some other sites, but directly westonfoods.com is the best. My contact information is there. So one of the things you can do to show me that you're excited to come and work for us is to give me a call after you apply. I'll be reaching out to you, but you know, I always like folks who are ambitious and who are really eager to work. And so if you want to expedite the process a little bit, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to review your application with you and talk about what opportunities we have.
Okay, Vanessa, before I let you go, there are some questions that have come in here. What if I've applied before? Should I reapply now?
I would say a good number for me is about 45 days. So if you have if you haven't applied in the last 45 days, I would encourage you to reapply. And that's for a couple of reasons. It could be that the role you applied to has been closed, but there may be another opportunity that's available. Also, it lets me know that you're still looking for work. This is a really hot environment for job seekers, and you know, if they want to go out and get jobs, and there's a ton of opportunities. So if I see an application that's 45 days old, I might think, or more, I might think that you've found something fantastic already.
Okay, and talk about, if you can tell us, safety. I know it's a new world out there. Tell us about the safety, the recent changes. I know it's always been a safe environment, but what can you tell us about safety protocols?
Absolutely. So we were one of the first bakeries. Our two locations were one of the first bakeries in our network to put into plan and action in terms of around COVID. So we have med techs at the facilities doing the temperature checks, but most importantly, in addition to that, we're asking those screening questions. So we're asking you some very specific questions about your last few days, just to see if you would be a candidate to not come into work until we learn a little bit more information. We do have pay protection. So our job is to keep our team healthy, keep you safe, and to ensure that you have pay as you're trying to kind of sort out what's going on with your health. So we don't want anyone to think that they're going to lose pay and so they're going to come to work and not be well. We've also done analysis on both of our facilities and determined which areas needed intervention in terms of creating some additional space. So we have, as you can see, even though I'm in an office, I'm wearing a mask because we've recognized the importance of wearing masks. No matter where you are, no matter how many folks are around you, no matter how far they are away from you, in order to keep people safe and healthy. We also have face shields available. So if for some reason the mask bothers you, you struggle to breathe, in a lot of our areas, we can substitute a face shield. And you can wear both if that makes you feel comfortable. On the line, we do have areas where we've put up barriers in between the workers to create that additional layer of protection. And of course, we have sanitizer. We have additional cleaning techs we've hired to move throughout the building, continuously wipe down doorknobs, keep areas clean that are there for the public. And we've just really, you know, made people feel comfortable talking about kind of maybe when they've been exposed, where they've been exposed. And again, just making sure they understand that we're going to pay them no matter what, because we want them to take care of their health and be safe.
Okay, Vanessa, a couple more questions before we let you go. I've never worked in a factory. Will I qualify for an interview?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just put down your work history, show us kind of where you've been dedicated, which workplaces you've been at. Maybe try to pull out some of those job details that would be helpful for us if you ran a cash register, or if you did some cleaning outside a manufacturing environment. Maybe you did some maintenance for a different type of industry and you're not sure if it's applicable. Just give us as much information as we can so that we can give you a call and follow up with more questions to determine where you would fit well within our company.
Next question. In fact, I was just looking at our adult education division here. Indiana has about 500,000 working age Hoosiers that lack a high school equivalency, and that gets right into our next question. I don't have a high school diploma or GED. Does that make me ineligible for hire?
It does not make you ineligible. We do ask the question just so we have a reference as to how far you went in your education, but absolutely you can work with us even though you have not completed that. Okay,
so that is Vanessa Bremer with Weston Foods, and we're at the hour. We're going to wrap up here. We got to most of the questions we could today. I want to say, do a quick farewell to all of our guests today. And I want to start with you, Vanessa, since let's kind of go in reverse order. So, Vanessa, any final comments?
I just really appreciate having the opportunity to work with the local WorkOne and sharing the stage with the other great folks that are recruiting. You know, now is a great time to look for work, and you are in the driver's seat as applicants when it comes to this process, and you have a lot of choices. So just make sure when you're applying for jobs, you ask a lot of questions and make sure it's a good fit for you and your family.
Okay, thank you for your time again this morning, Vanessa. And Rebecca Aitken with HARLAN Bakeries. Any final words? Rebecca, could you unmute, please?
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? So thank you, everybody. I just want to leave everyone with the thought that when they come to work with us here at HARLAN Bakeries, we are training everybody to become food professionals, and they'll be on their way. We've got a certification program in-house that they can partake in. And they can take pride in working with us and growing with our organization. We are a family-owned company, and we'd like to have members join our family, just as we have members that have worked here for many, many years. But thanks to you, and thanks to everybody for joining us today.
Thanks, Rebecca, and good point. I think one of the reminders of all these positions today, it's a great way to build a background and start building experience if you don't have a whole lot right now. So thanks for sharing that. And next up from Jonas, Claudia Roman. Claudia, are you still there? Any final words?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to share the information about the company. And like I said, we are taking walk-ins. If you need a job, come see us, and you can start next week.
Great, that's soon. So thanks for that, Claudia, with Jonas. And last but not least of today's presenters, from Beckman Dickinson, Anastasia Bender. Anastasia, are you still with us?
I am, sir. I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to present, and I hope that some of these positions are a good fit for you folks, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Anastasia. And as we conclude today's program, I want to say thanks to all the folks that joined us today. Thanks for your time. Looks like there's lots of great opportunities. I want to bring in Jim Mehring one more time. Jim, if you're still there, any final words? Again, Jim's the guy, Jim and Sally, that makes these things happen. And again, we can't say enough about how much we appreciate this. I know in Indiana, the unemployment rate continues to go down, 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 and the return to work up. These are exciting times, I think, for workforce here in Indiana. Jim, any final words?
Absolutely, Bob. Thank you so much. You know, when we started the session, you introduced each of our presenters as the stars of today's show, and I can't think of anything more fitting. Once again, I'm always struck by the enthusiasm and the excitement and how they represent their respective companies so well. It was really pleasant to see Rebecca and Vanessa again. I think that's really, really cool, and I do appreciate their interest, in what we're doing. As I listened today, there's a couple things quickly. If I listened and I did my math right, there's in excess of 465 opportunities that were presented today. And I think that's really exciting. And we're going from medical to logistics to food in companies that are not only domestic, but worldwide. I always find that so incredible. Another thing that really, really struck me today was how employee-centric each of our presenters is today. When you think about benefits starting on day one, discounted insurance, which is even including pets, educational assistance programs, chance to become permanent after 120 days, clinics available, live health opportunities, and with Vanessa and the pay protection, and if a mask doesn't work for you, the flexibility to give you a face mask. So just all so employee-centric, and I find that just wonderful, as we think about the situation we're in. So, thank you to each one of them. It is so cool. And again, their professionalism and the way they present is just absolutely amazing to me, and I thank them so much. So to everyone who participated, make sure that you visit the websites that we're given. Make sure if you need to, utilize WorkOne at workoncentral.org. Bob, I can't close without saying thank you to you, to David Shadkowski, to Sally Eisbrenner, and a host of others who are working so tirelessly to be sure every opportunity is made available to the wonderful citizens of Indiana and the communities we serve. Finally, thanks to everyone who participated today. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. We hope you found this to be both helpful and informative. And what I'd like to say is good luck to each and every one of you, and we wish you all the very, very best. Thanks a bunch, Bob.
Well, great. Well, thank you, Jim, for making this all happen. And again, that's Jim Mehring. He is the chairman of the Workforce Development Board for Region 5. And again, thanks to all of you. Thanks to all our presenters. And thanks to all of you attendees for your participation today. So with that, we're going to conclude today's program. Again, look for a recording coming to you directly in your email box this time tomorrow. So thanks for joining. Good luck.